Hello, beautiful people. Be most welcome to today's episode of COVID Around the World. This show is all about bringing real people from different backgrounds and different countries and ask them to share to you what are their views and perspectives about this pandemic. I'm VH, and here's our guest of today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of COVID Around the World. Today we have a very special guest. It's my dad. So we have Mr. Vitor here with us today. He lives in Portugal and he's a police officer in Lisbon. And he's gonna share with us his perspective on the measures in Lisbon. So welcome, Dad. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
As a police officer, you probably have a more in-depth perception than the regular citizen. So can you tell us, please introduce what exactly do you do and in which capacity are you a police officer in Lisbon? And also, what are the measures being implemented over there?
Yes, as you said, the police officer, as everyone says, we are in the front line, like the doctors and nurses and all the people who work in the hospital. Police are in the front line. I work in Lisbon, and I work, as a matter of fact, I work exactly in dealing with this subject because I work in logistics with the national direction of the Portuguese police, and we were in charge of to get everything is what's necessary for the police officers, all the country, not only to Lisbon but to all the country, like the masks, like the alcohol to clean the hands, like gloves, everything. So, like it was everything changed. No one was expecting something like this, and but I believe we did a good job until now, and we gave one acrylic mask to all the, I think, 20,000 of police officers. Everyone has one, and all the departments and all the units have what the minimum what's necessary to face this epidemic.
So the government gave you rights, like let's say in a timely manner, all the equipment that was required for you to do your job.
All the equipment, it's always
relatively.
exactly, relatively. But I think that we had the government gave us the minimum necessary to do our job in a safe manner and to provide safety to all the others. That's my opinion. Of course, that there is always people saying that we didn't have enough, but I believe that overall, in a equalize, in the balance, the good, the bads, I think we had the minimum necessary to face this problem.
Okay, so for the ones that this segment is for everyone in the world, so for the foreigners, can you explain briefly what has been happening in the timeline with the measures that's being implemented in Portugal?
For the foreigners, I mean, everyone got scared, and most of them they ran away to all the countries. No, I'm joking now. But the foreigners here were dealt with them like everyone else. I mean, they didn't have less than us. Even we got the United Nations congratulations regarding the rights of the foreigners that they were here in the matter the way that we deal with them. So here, what we have, everyone has, not if it's a Portuguese citizen or if it's a foreigner. If he lives here or if he is in Portugal waiting for political asylum or whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's here in Portugal, all the people have the same rights regarding to facility to get the masks, pharmacies, go to the doctor, whatever mentioned.
So as far as I understand, there's always that has been some debate on the civil society of the governmental measures. Um, a couple of days ago, there was a demo from if one of the celebrating the Workers' Day on as a public gathering where the government was forbidding them. Apparently, there's also some not the people don't really know what exactly they have to do or how to do it. And correct me if I'm wrong, was also yesterday, 2 days ago, that the government said that people can go out now. There's no more lockdown, but the facial masks are mandatory, and some people are not really knowing how to use them. This is what I've been reading in social media. How much is it true or not?
Don't believe in social media. And here we are. No. This was a joke. Regarding the 1st of May, there's always people against and in favor the government measures. Doesn't matter if it's school, problems regarding the school, subjects or hospitals or unions or political parties or the church or whatever. There's always people against, in favor. So you will have always people saying the opposite of the other ones. It seems that this weekend we were not allowed to go out from one municipality to another one, but there is always exceptions, legal ones, and it doesn't. For me, as a police officer or a common citizen, I don't care. My opinion is like not so important. If it's legal, it's legal. But the one union was gave you the right to go to one big avenue to celebrate the 1st of May, and all the others that cannot go out were against that. What happened? Now, as you said, and well, since Monday, the emergency state it's over, so people start to go out, but not so much like they want probably. The measures like are different, but in a practical way, you can nothing. Didn't change so much. The restaurants stay closed. Majority of the shops stay closed. The schools still closed. So they want to do it in a gradual way, and I believe I agree with that. So we can see more people outside. We can. Even today I saw it. But still, a lot of people stay at home, working at home. Students, they are having lessons and doing what they have to do at home. I think next week we will like a second phase, and then in the end of May we will have a third phase. So, as you said, people are using the masks. It's not mandatory. It's mandatory to go in.
It's only mandatory in closed surfaces. Is that correct?
Exactly. If you go to the supermarket, if you go to the whatever, if it's closed, you have to use it, especially on the public transportation. If you want to the trains or the buses or whatever, you have to use it.
How is the public transportation in Lisbon? Because it was already something of a public debate, the public transportation in Lisbon. So is it are they full? Because I know they can only be at 2/3 of capacity. How is that being implemented? Is that going okay so far?
So far, so good. As I said, we are in the first phase, so you can see more people, but enough to put all this, let's say, the implementary, implement this what the government wants. For now, it's enough, and we have a lot of transports, and most of them are empty.
Okay, all right. Good news then, because yeah, it was, and I know you used the train to go to work, and it was one of the trains that a lot of people in the rush hour were complaining that it was completely fully full. And what about your personal life? Like, of course, you didn't stop working. Did your hours change? Did your of course, you said that working in the logistics, you had to deal with all the situation. But how were there any changes on your daily habits?
Yes, the police, the national police, what they decided to split in two groups, the the police officers. We have two kind of police officers, operational ones, they are on the street, and they have the schedule like all the other time in the year. The administrative police officers, they split in two groups, and we are working one day and stay at home another day, working one day. So it's one group goes to work in one day, another group goes to work in the second day. It means that we have to work a little bit more because we have to work for both, the day that we are there, and during more time in the day. So the day that we are working, we have to perform more hours there. But it's not a big deal, to be honest. It's not a big deal.
Is that something common to all the police, or is just the logistic part? Because it's also something I would like to know. Like, was there any difference is the police just doing business as usual, or they had to be being I mean, did they change their behavior? Was the government or the local authorities using the police to be more in control of the measures? Did anything change in the police, or it was just business as usual?
Definitely, we changed a lot. We have more focus to this problem. People are working, the police officers. You asked me if it was only my department or no, it was all the country. We split in two groups, all the country. So in all country, in all units, we are working one day and another group works in another day. So it means that if you got COVID, we have always one group without a problem. So if it was the best measure that they had, in my opinion. But of course, we changed like all the society changed. Focus, it's the COVID. It's like sometimes we are joking like the criminal guys just disappear. Of course they didn't. Of course not. But even in statistic lines or in statistic numbers, criminality decreased. Complaints decreased. Even the fact that the people are not going out, you know? So even maybe the criminals also don't go out.
Yes, they need to. When they're trying to mug you, they need to keep social distance. Okay, you can be mugged, but please keep keep the space. So, and what about the public opinion? I mean, again, the social media extrapolates any case beyond what might be reasonable. Let's call it that way. But we've been seeing, and my question is: have you seen some positive or negative views from society? We've been seeing some huge compliments to when the authorities try to engage in the society or even enforce the quarantine in a very funny way with music, with uh, windows get together and things like that. But we also seen some negative cases. um, do you have any inside view on this?
Of course, as I said before, there is always people against everything, but it's a minority. I believe that the majority of the people agree with the government measures, and I believe that the majority of the people is supporting the police officers' measures to to deal with this problem. And again, there is always someone trying to find something to say, oh, look, the guy did this or the guy did that. It's always part, it's also part of the society. It's also part of the social media. Of course, there is always something waiting for someone waiting for something, say bad things. But overall, I think the majority, the big majority of the people are in favor of the government measures and in favor supporting the different police and help us understand us um, in a good way.
There's a sentence that I remember you saying multiple times that it just got stuck in my head, that the police officers are just like in any other profession. There's good professionals and bad professionals. I remember saying this quite a lot. So you mentioned the finishing of the lockdown on Monday, and a third phase that is going to come at the end of the month. So what seems to be the next steps? Are the businesses all going to open gradually? Can you give us some more details?
Yes, as you said, gradually. I'm not sure exactly, but it depends. The normal business depends of the measure of the business. If for now only the small ones, then medium ones, and then bigger ones. So like the shopping centers and malls and all these will be the last ones to open. But the street business, small shops, they are all open for now.
The
Um,
street business. When you said street business, seems like something dodgy.
no, 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 no.
Something that you ran after them, like the street guys.
No, no, no. The, the small shops with the door open to the street, that's what I want to say. And they are all open now. Gradually, they will open, and until the end of the month, they want to everything, all the business open until the end of the month. Everyone looks forward to that, but of course, it will depend of the numbers. And for now, the numbers are better than not, because if someone died, it's always bad, but the numbers are better than we were thinking before. In the beginning, looking our neighbors, Spain, we were lucky, I believe. Together with good measures, I think we were lucky. But the numbers are good, and if they go this line, I believe at the end of the month everything will be open, and everyone can be outside with masks, of course. And they think that only some of the classes, some of the students, they will not go to school. Only the first,
Primary
the
school.
later to secondary school, I think, and the youngsters, the small babies. In the middle, I think they stay at home. They will have lessons through the national TV and internet.
Okay. You were in your job. You went on a trip as a police officer to Madrid, just when you was hitting it massively. Um, did you please correct my time frame? But did you can you tell us that story? Did you just dodge it, or how were the borders about to close? How was it?
Uh, that time, no one was thinking correctly. I mean, you know that you did we had the good decision or not after, not before. That time in Italy, everything was bad, starting to be bad, but not in Spain. We went there for security and police exposition in Madrid, the same place where a few weeks later they transformed to a hospital. And we were there at the end of February after Carnival, and thousands of people were there from all over the world, but especially Spain, France, Italy, and Portugal. And everything was the beginning, it was starting. I remember that I was in a coffee shop looking for the TV and seeing that I said to my colleagues, look, in Madrid, we have 5 people with COVID. 5. 1 week later was 5,000. So, and immediately they closed the border. So it was like, fortunately, I could reach Portugal at that time. And but we think about a lot about in that position. Afterwards, they also made Spain. I'm talking about Spain, of course. They also made a lot of um, not political rallies, but expositions and a lot of, to celebrate the Women's Day until the 6th of March. So everyone was gathering thousands and thousands of people everywhere. And I'm thinking a lot with my colleagues. We were there, we were touching everything, we were shaking hands to everyone. We
So
were,
now we know how we got to Portugal then. Okay.
and now afterwards that we are thinking about that, we put our hands to, I don't know if there is someone or somewhat, doesn't matter, that guide us the right hands to be shaken or the bad
Exactly,
hands. So
exactly. Yeah.
um, again, we were lucky because even so, the numbers in Portugal are good. Even so, 80%, around 80% of the people that got the COVID-19 from outside, 80% came from Spain.
Yeah. We have that saying from Spain, not good wind, not good marriage, something like that, right? not good bacteria, viruses as well. So I'm having this picture in my head now, because you said that you went to an exhibition of national security, correct? It was an exhibition of national security gear, right? Like technology.
Yeah, a lot of things, but everything, the main subject, it was the security. But of course, we had a lot of sub uh, police security, like political security or something, but also people security, and so a lot of companies and a lot of subjects were there in that exposition.
I'm just imagining because if he was transforming the hospital, I'm seeing all those things from CSI that he just throw. So the doctors have been in that hospital have been like amazed, like, oh yeah, this guy go over there, like, and you see the virus go inside of the body on a big screen TV, and like that's been pretty cool to work in that hospital over there.
I think that they wish they wish that, but I don't believe they got it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
I think they got rid of that first and then put all the hospital stuff inside.
Yeah, 5G ventilators.
Yeah.
So I have one question that I try to ask all my guests, which is the most philosophical one. So I have a hope, which is well, everyone, and since there's history and since there's globalization, it never happened that apart from the World Cups finals, it feels like that, no one ever stopped like we are stopping now, and no one was dealing with the same thing as everyone in the world is doing right now. Um, and some people were use that time for TikTok videos. Some people use it to read. Some people use it to the daily lives, like taking care of kids and cooking. But it seems that it gave some people a chance of realizing what is fundamental. Apparently, haircuts, doing nails, and of sorts is deemed essential. But it gave some time for people to see how their government, how the people they are in charge uh, have their decision-making process. So there's a lot to think about as a civil society. So my hope is that at least a chunk of the society takes that time and uses it when we come back to normal to rethink what exactly, at least like I'm seeing a lot of meetings in the future when everything is going to be fine, assuming it's going to be fine, uh, tracking back to, oh, remember when we were home? So I have this belief that we can now take the opportunity to rethink what we want. We had that time to evaluate. So my question to you is that do you share this belief? Do you think that we can reshape and rethink society as it is? And if you do believe, in which areas and how? And if not, why?
Um, I do believe that now at the present we achieve that goal. We have more time. A lot of people are doing more for their lives and for loved ones, and people are talking more to each other among the family, not only among the family. Even this long distance, people are talking more to each other, even through the internet channels or social media or whatever. We never had so much talking like now. People, because we are not going to shopping centers, we are not going to the football or other sports, we are not going to for a walk outside, we are not going. So I do agree that we have more time, and we are learning a lot. We are learning to deal with ourselves and with the people that surround us. I don't have I'm not sure that if we stay with this present for long, because we have a short memory. Um, how long it will be, I don't know. But yes, we are going with our lives in a better way. Everyone is looking to everything, and everyone with a different perspective and longer, because we have the time, force us to have the time. And I think we are more attached to each other. We are more connected to each other, even with the mirror. We are connecting more. Of course, there is always someone sick of each other because we have so much time together that we are sick of each other. But in a positive way, I believe, in my opinion, that we are more. We know that our kids, because we are spending more time with them. Um, the wives, the husbands, the fathers, the mothers. But we have these feelings now because we came from a low um, perspective. We had a low perspective. So what we achieved now, it's normal. It should be like this. But we were not having anything like this before. So what we have now, nothing special. But if you compare what was in the past, of course, there is a lot changed, a lot. But again, as I said before, I'm not sure if we are going to stay with this way of thinking for long. I hope we're going to stay, and it depends of the governments and the health department and the political whatever department or what to remind us, hey, what we are doing. Remember that a few months ago and a few years ago and 1 decade ago, this happened. You have the First World War and the Second World War and other disease that happened before, and the people are start to face this like they never happened. So again, this was serious enough to put the people thinking and put everyone in a different way, thinking in a different way, closer to each other. Let's hope, and I hope, not sure, but I hope that we are going to stay like this for a longer period. Let's see.
Thank you for creating more philosophy in your answer than in my question. You were just a party pooper right now. So before you go, I just want to ask you to get your magic watch, police officer watch or whatever you have, and teletransport yourself to the streets of Lisbon with uniform to show us how it is today.
Here we are. This is a working day. After lunch in a working day. It's amazing. Almost no traffic.
What about you? What are your opinions on the matter? Do you have any experience you would like to share with us? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, you can support me by hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and help me becoming a full-time YouTuber by donating through the link in the video description. Thank you, and see you in the next video.